Is everything ready? Okay, good. Fine, okay. Turn off the light. Yes. Turn off the light, please. Thank you. And screen on. There you go. So, hello? It's really awkward to say something, when I do presentation. But anyway, this is my small presentation for Miss Takanashi Kiara, and this is a Korean food and snack suggestion. Yep. When I was watching your stream, or should I say YouTube video, I heard that you are really interested about Korean foods and, Korean street foods and everything. So I just want to make some small fan video about, some Korean food and snack introduction. So this is it. Yeah. So um before we start, I really want to say that I have absolutely nothing, which means that I have no script, I have no written plot, so everything is 100% live. Only this presentation is pre-made, so even if I speak something weird, please do understand. I'm really sorry. So let's begin. So before we start, like I said before, this is not an absolute answer. This is my small suggestion as a viewer. And please consider this as a fan video and don't take it too seriously. And also, please forgive my poor English accent and my poor English pronunciation and grammars, etc., etc. Yeah, I'm not good at English, so... Anyway, cut the chit-chat and let's go. Let's see. So, when I made this presentation, I really didn't want to make this as a very long lecture type of presentation. So I made it short to 5 contents about the Korean foods and about food, about snacks, and about street food and about convenience stores and some extras. Yeah. So, like I said, I don't want to be this like a long lecture type video, so I will make it as short as I can. So, please lean back and enjoy this video as a fan video, like I said before. So, let's begin. Cut the chit chat. Yes. So, about the Korean foods, traditional is the best. Well, this is kind of a really big problem. Not exactly a problem. It's like a big nonsense quiz. So, why am I saying this? The reason is simple. When Koreans talk about which Korean foods should we introduce to foreigners, and almost every Koreans say that traditional ones like bibimbap, bulgogi, and kimchi stew and everything just like that. But yeah, those things they are literally Korean foods, but do we always have to introduce Korean traditional foods? Yeah, for example, some foreigners might not like Korean traditional foods, right? Not every traditional foods are perfect for foreigners. So, the reason why I am saying this is that sometimes Korean style cooked foods also works well for the foreigners. For example, the first picture on the left is pizza, right? Pizza originated from Italy, right? They originated from Italy, but this pizza is made with Korean style with bulgogi on it. So we call it bulgogi pizza. Yes. And the right picture, the second one, is that sauce is like a cream pasta, but not cream pasta, right? That is cream tteokbokki, which is a rice cake mixture. What do I have to say? Anyway, so that is called cream tteokbokki. I'll explain about the tteokbokki later. And this is so-called fusion type of Korean food, right? No foreign countries make this, right? Bulgogi pizza or cream tteokbokki, right? So Korean style cooked foods can also introduce a Korean food. So you don't have to just stick to the stick to the Korean traditional foods. Of course, traditional foods are really Korean colored foods and they are really great. But if you want to try something, accustomed to your culture, then you can try something like these. Yeah, that is my opinion. So you don't have to try only Korean traditional foods. So, let's see. About the food. Yeah, chapter 1, food. So, about the Korean food, well, there are variety of foods, rice, noodles, and stew, and so many things. And you don't have to stick to the spicy taste, which means, of course, Korea is well known for their love of spicy and hot taste. But to be honest, there are much more than spicy taste itself, like savory and sweets and a little bit salty, blah blah blah. And there's so many tastes in Korea, so that is like a stereotype of foreigners about us. Koreans like spicy foods, like like fire noodles. So Korean foods must be all spicy. That is like a stereotype. So you don't have to worry about that. Spicy things are the only Korean foods, and you can enjoy so many things. So don't worry about it. And if you don't want to buy or order something in restaurant, you can just use delivery service. Korea's delivery service is perfect. I'm not lying. If you want to order something to your hotel room, you can use applications. And if you don't want to use application or you don't know how to use them, then you can just call them. Almost every restaurant have phones in their kitchen, so you can just call them and you can just order them. Well, of course, that'll need more Korean, communication skills, but anyway. So, a long time ago, a wise mouse once said, dang it, I'm not good at this narration skills. So, Miss Hakosbez once said that she likes kimchi stew, kimbap. It's like a futomaki. I don't know what is in Japanese, but it is like a Korean style futomaki. And yukgaejang is like a hot soup with beef and some vegetables. And takgalbi is a chicken ribs with some vegetables and hot sauce. And she likes all of Korean foods. Yeah, she said such things. And the reason why I am using this quote is that I want to explain about the variety of Korean foods. For example, look at picture number 1 right here on the left, upper left. You can see that is a kimchi stew, and even the kimchi stew itself has so many variations. For example, if you use pork, it's a pork kimchi stew. If you use tuna, it's a tuna. If you use fish, it's gonna fish kimchi stew. And if you use spam, it'll be the spam kimchi stew. And about the yukgaejang, beef, tofu, kimchi, mushroom, and chicken, and even non-spicy ones. And look at the kimbap. Tuna with mayonnaise, anchovies, kimchi, only vegetables, cheese, anchovy with jalapeno, Korean jalapeno I mean, and only jalapeno, beef, and not on the list, but there are like what is it, tonkatsu kimbap, and there's also something called noodle kimbap. The noodle kimbap is something opposite, which means ordinary kimbap is a kim. The seaweed is outside and the rice is inside, but it is opposite. Rice is outside and kim is inside. Yeah, how genius, right? I was really surprised when I found that one when I was like a kid or something. And about the takgalbi, you can find it like a galbi taste, like soy sauce taste. Galbi taste, takgalbi, and the takgalbi with pork, takgalbi with squid, calamari, and takgalbi with cheese. And so there are so many variety of things. So if you like, for example, if you like one Korean food, there are a variety of versions for that food. You can it's like a buffet of Korean foods. This is really that. It's so hard to recommend, and it's really hard to choose something to tell you that this is good. You should try it. Yeah, it was really hard for me to choose something. So anyway, however, I chose 3 types. This is not an absolute answer, like I said before. This is not an absolute answer, just suggestion. So anyway, next page. So before we start, why am I saying this again? You have to understand about banchan culture. This is called side dish culture. Side dishes always comes before starting your meal, and it's totally free. Yes. And if you want more side dishes, then you can just ask the clerk, ask the manager. It's free, total free. There are 2 types of side dishes in Korea. First one is buffet style. This is just an example. If you want to, for example, if you want to eat kimchi and if you want to pick some, if you want to pick some lettuce, you can eat whatever you want. You can eat anything you like, but no leftovers. Some restaurants will take extra fees if you leave something. Yep, if you left something. So, and the next one is serve style. The serve style is most popular style in Korean restaurants. There are 4 to 10 kinds of side dishes, like kimchi and some egg ones, like egg fry, fried eggs, boiled eggs, egg rolls, and some vegetables and seaweed kind of things. Could be more, but I never had it before, so I can't explain it to you. Of course, if you go to some expensive, franchised restaurant, you can find some variety of side dishes, but I never been there. I'm poor. So anyway, there are 2 types: buffet style and serve style. And if you want more, it's totally free. So the first one I really want to recommend is meat. Yes, everyone likes meat except vegetarian guys, but anyway, meat. Yes, pork, chicken, beef, blah blah blah, even lambs. You name it, there they are. Yes, I'm not lying. The first picture is called samgyeopsal, which is very famous nowadays. It is called samgyeopsal. It's a pork belly. And the second one is takgalbi, chicken ribs with spicy sauce. And the third one is sogalbi, is a beef ribs. And the fourth one, if you don't like grilled beefs, or if you don't like grilled pork or something, you can eat these. These are called bossam and jokbal. They are boiled pork and braised pig's feet. So they, like jokbal has really lots of collagens. Yes, and bossam it's kind of like boiled or sometimes steamed pork, so it's really soft to eat. So ordinary ones, seasoned ones, and much more than you can eat. Oh yes, and one more thing about the takgalbi. If you finish takgalbi, you can use the leftover sauce as a fried rice. Yes, fried rice. I'm not lying. If you have some leftovers, you can use it for fried rice. I'm not lying. Yes. Almost every foods in Korea, you can use rice. You can soak it, you can fry it, you can even make a, what was that called? Onigiri in Japanese? What is it called in English? Dang it, I forgot. Anyway, rice. I'll tell you later, but rice is really important in Korea. So you can just make almost everything with rice. Even in different menus like meats, like pork and beef. So that is about the meat. And this is about stew and broth. In Korea, there are some different words: guk, tang, and jjigae. Guk is for soup, I think. And jjigae is for stew, and broth is for tang. Yes. It's like a difference between how long did you cook with water and ingredients. The soup is the shortest cooked ones, and the broth is like broth is like a boiled for like 12 hours or something. So it's really hard to translate exactly to the English words, but what the hell. Anyway, the first picture is called 설렁탕. It's like a boiled marrow bone broth with beef. Yes. they boil this soup for like really long time, you know, like 6 hours to 12 hours, and the ingredients are really good, like, the bones, the all the good stuffs inside the bone comes out to the water, and that's the reason why the soup looks like a milk color. Yes, milk colored. And that is really 0% spicy. So non-spicy one is really thick, and if you drink the soup, well, I should say broth, but anyway, if you drink broth of that tang, you can feel the power inside this broth. Yes, I'm not lying. And the second one is called budae-jjigae, which is also known as army stew in outside of Korea. The reason why foreigners call it army stew is that budae means army and jjigae means stew. Yeah, and the army stew originates from 1950s, late 1950s, I guess, when the Korean War is over. There were nothing to eat for Koreans because the war is over and nothing left. The time was really bad for Koreans. We were poor at that time, so there were United States Army bases around Korea, and when there were leftovers such as spams or sausage and everything, Koreans picked those hams and sausages, and they used those salvaged things and they put it into the water and they boiled it and they ate together. That is the origin of budae-jjigae. That is the reason why we call it army stew, budae-jjigae. I don't know. I don't know if that is true or not, but some say that is the origin. So that is a literally spicy taste stew with sausage, spam, instant ramen noodle, and sometimes baked beans and bacon or something like that, and some vegetables like kimchi and etc. That is also thick, but that is kind of a spicy. But if it's really good for you when you feel really hungry and if you want to eat something spicy but something really rich, then you can just try budae-jjigae. You can eat it with rice. And the third one is called 감자탕. So 감자탕 is literally 감자 means potato, so it's like a pork neck bone with potatoes and other ingredients with spicy taste broth, and it's really good. Of course, foreigners are not accustomed to these kind of foods, but it's really good. Yes, and the potato is perfect. I'm not lying. Potato and pork is dang good. I'm not lying. It's totally perfect. About the stew and broth, can make your day with full stomach. Yes. There's an old saying in Korea that if you have money to eat something like that, I'd rather have some good stew or good broth. The reason why we say such saying is that one bowl of good stew can make your day energetic. Yes, I'm not lying. Because we cook it for a very long time, and all those healthy nutritional values come out from the ingredients. And that soup is 100% good for your body. Yeah. And like I wrote it right there, rice, the old friend. Yes. You can just soak it, you can just make a fried rice with it. Yes. We just don't serve the stew and broth alone. Why? Koreans are the people of rice. We always eat rice, and rice will make you much more full and energetic. Yes, rice will going to help you to make your food much more savory and filled with flavors and everything. So if you don't have your rice, that means you just ate half of your meal. I'm not lying. The next one is Korean style cooked foods. Yes, I'm not joking. I am introducing foreign style food cooked with Korean style. Yes. The first one is hamburgers, yes, but the patty is bulgogi. Yes, the Korean pork barbecue. Yeah. And the second one is called tonkatsu in Korea, but it's literally tonkatsu in Japanese is Hankoku fu no tonkatsu. Hi. Yes. But in Korea we call it tonkatsu. Yeah, it's like Korean style pork cutlet. The difference between tonkatsu and tonkatsu is Korean tonkatsu is a little bit thin. Yes. Korean tonkatsu is made with hammer. I'm not lying. They hammer the meat and they fry it, and they use, what is that called? Demi-glace sauce? Yes. The one made with butter. Yeah. And it can be a little bit oily because sauce is made with butter and stuff. But there's not only butter. Yeah. But there's not only butter sauce, but also there's some other sauces without butter. So if you come to Korea, you can just try tonkatsu. Yeah. It's just a suggestion, like I told you before. And the third picture is one of the Korean style cooked Chinese foods. It's called tangsuyuk, which is fried pork with sweet and sour sauce. About Korean style Chinese foods, there are so many kinds of noodles, which is called jjajangmyeon or jampong or stuff like that. But I really want to recommend this one because nobody hates pork, right? Nobody hates meat, so this is really good for starters, I think. And the last picture is called kanjang chicken, which is one of the fried chicken in Korea. It's not that soggy, even though it used kanjang sauce. It's like a sweet and a little bit salty because it's a soy sauce based fried chicken, so a little bit sweet and salty, savory kind of a taste. This is one of the non-spicy chicken in Korea. So if foreigners come to Korea, I always recommend this one first because almost every foreigners who know about Korean chickens, they always say fried chicken or seasoned chicken with like sweet and spicy sauce. But sometimes that sweet and I'll say chili sauce. That sweet and chili sauce, they can be a little bit spicy to foreigners. So I always suggest this one first because this is a non-spicy one. And one more thing, there are so many versions of chickens in Korea. There's even a cream sauce chicken or something. So this is not just only one option. So you can choose a variety of things if you want. And the next one is about snacks. But the snacks, I can't choose. The reason why is that Korea is almost westernized these days. And there are plenty of breads, and cookies, and some, and some, what is that called? Oh yeah, macarons and all those things, cakes and waffles. I can't choose, but if you walk around the street, you can find so many cafes and bakeries, so it's your call. But what I want to say is that if you come to Korea in summer, you can try ice flakes. Yes, I think ice flakes are also in Japan too, right? But it's a little bit different from Japan. Japanese ice flakes is mixture with ice and some kind of a sauce thing, right? But in Korea, we use red bean paste on top of the ice, and some rice cakes and stuffs, jelly beans and some not exactly jelly beans, but some jellies and everything. And there are so many different types nowadays, so you can try ice flakes if you come to Korea. Yes. Ironically, I don't like ice flakes. And the second one is this is called 붕어빵. And I will talk about this later. This is one of the street foods in Korea, and I'll talk about this later. And the third picture is just nothing but a popped rice. Yes, it's just a popped rice. But in Korea, popped rice is not that sweet, which means we don't use like a sugar-coated flavor one. So it tastes like a little bit more grain. Yeah. Like an original grain taste. And about the street food, yes, I really wanted to talk about this. Yes, we must learn about what is 포장마차. 포장마차 is snack cart, literally. Yes, snack cart in Korea. You can find it almost everywhere in Korea. 포장마차, snack carts are the spine of Korean street food. I'm not lying. Almost every street foods are sold in here. Like waffles and like a 붕어빵 and stuff like that. Oh yes, and one more thing about waffles. Yeah, well, let's not say this right now. Anyway, you can find foods and snacks inside snack carts. I'm not lying. First of all, the foods. They are like a first aid kit when you are starving. When you are starved to death, you can find some foods inside the snack cart, so you can just make your belly feels much more comfortable. For example, tteokbokki. Tteokbokki is like a rice cake mixed with gochujang, like a chili pepper paste, and sundae is like a blood sausage. Yes, blood sausage, and a tempura. Yeah. There are so many tempura in Korea. For example, like let's see, there are sweet potatoes, pumpkins, sometimes eggs, and dumplings, and much more. Yeah, and fish cakes. Yeah, fish cakes are on the stick, and they boiled inside the soup, and this soup is cooked with radish and some anchovies and sometimes crabs. So the soup is really good. Yes. Sometimes people call it odeng. Yeah, odeng is Japanese, right? Yeah. And this fish cake soup, it tastes wonderful. It's like a morning, when you wake up in the morning and you eat soup for breakfast. This soup is perfect for that one. I'm not lying. It's like a odenjiru in Japanese, I think. Yes, it's like some people say it's a yasashijiru because it tastes so kind to fill up your belly. And much more like kimbap and stuff more. You can find more stuffs inside, snack cart, but let's go on to the snack part. So, snacks made fresh, ready to eat. I'm not lying. They made it right away in front of your eyes, cook it in front of your eyes, and give it to you right away. Yes. For example, hot dog. If you look at this picture, that is called hot dog. It's like a Korean pancake with a sugary jam inside. Sometimes some seeds inside too. And 붕어빵. 붕어빵 is like a taiyaki in Japanese. Yeah. But it's not exactly Thai. It's like a koiyaki. Yeah. It's kind of different. These days, the original 붕어빵 is bean paste, red bean paste inside, but nowadays there are, some, like spicy dumpling taste ones, and there are creamy taste ones. What is that called? Cream? I don't know. I forgot. So, yeah, there are so many variations, so you don't have to worry about it if you don't like red bean paste. And Korean corn dog. Yes, we call it hot dog in Korea, but it's a little bit different from, like American style hot dog with, bread and, and the sausage inside with mustard and ketchup. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit of corn dog. And that corn dog is really developed really well. And some corn dogs have, fried potatoes outside and mozzarella in it, and the Korean corn dogs have also so many variations, so I can't tell it right now. There are so many things that I didn't even try. So long time ago, the snack carts were not proper restaurants, so they only took cash, but these days they take your cards too, so you don't have to worry about that part. And yes, convenience store. Yes, convenience store. The vault of foods, the treasure vault of foods. I'm not lying. Of course, there are convenience stores in Japan, America, and Germany, Austria too, but the reason why I don't write too many things here is that it's your call. Which means if you go inside to the convenience store, you can find so many versions of Korean cup noodles, instant noodles, Korean snacks and Korean drinks and Korean bentos and Korean beers, Korean juices, Korean sandwiches, and everything. I'm not lying. Instant ramen, bento, sandwich, kimbap, and cookies, jelly, tea, beer. You can find everything inside. If you want to eat some fire noodles, 불닭볶음면, here you go. But there are also so many variations. Carbonara taste ones, super hot ones, and cheesed ones. And inside the convenience store, you can find some foreign foods too. Yeah, I'm not lying. And if you want to try some Korean style snacks, here you go. If you want to try some Korean style, like Korean style chocolate ones, here you go. If you want to try some Korean snacks, here you go. Everything that you imagine is inside convenience store. And there are some different, there are different convenience stores in Korea. And there are so-called this convenience store only type of foods. For example, convenience store A sells special limited edition ramen, and convenience store B sells limited edition cookie only in convenience store B. And there, yes, things are like that. Yeah. And if you want to drink some water, you can buy it. If you want to drink some bottle of tea, you can find it. Yes, I'm not lying. It's like a small version of department store. Yeah. It's your choice. If you want to choose it by yourself, you have to go to the convenience store. And this one is plus one. The reason why I use plus one is that while I was watching the stream of Takanashi Kiara, Miss Takanashi Kiara, I heard that she eats fruit candies and drinks some teas because she talks too much and she needs to make her throat comfortable. So that's the reason why I put this right here. Of course, in Korea, there are so many types of fruit candies, from cheap ones to expensive ones. This picture right here is called 사랑방 선물 in Korea. It's like it's like a Korean version of Charms candy. And yeah, it's a little bit big for kids. Yeah, so it's kind of a dangerous for kids because of, choking problems. And apple, grapes, strawberry, peach, pineapple taste. Yeah. From cheap ones to expensive ones, you can find it almost every stores in Korea. Yeah, I'm not lying. And about the tea, Korea is famous for the grain teas. There are so many versions of grain teas. Corns and barleys and things like that. And they are almost tea bags. And but you can find Western teas too, like black teas or like a tea leaves or something. You can find it in department stores too. Don't worry about it. You can find, if you want to try some Western teas, you can just find it in department stores or places like that. So don't worry about it. And this is about the extras. Yes, this is about some useful expressions if you come to Korea and use it for inside the restaurant or something. So I'll make this quick. Like I said before, I don't want to make this like a really boring college lecture thingy. So the first one is called 주세요. This is very famous. I think Miss Takanashi Kiara I think she knows this well because it's famous for milk incident. So 주세요 means give me blah blah blah. Yes. When you order something or ask to bring something to you, then you say blah 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 주세요. For example, if you want pork belly for one person, 2인마에, and you have to say 삼겹살 1인분 주세요, which means give me pork belly for one person. And if you use 더, means more. For example, if you want more, let's see. If you want more lettuce, you can say 상추 더 주세요. You have to put 더 in front of the 주세요. So that means give me more lettuce. That means 상추 더 주세요. Yeah. And the next one is 얼마예요. is for when you're asking about the price, you can use 얼마예요. For example, 이거 얼마예요? 이거 means this, and 저거 means that. So if you say 이거 얼마예요, that means how much is this. And if you want to ask about the price of your meal, you can just say 얼마예요. Yeah, that's over. You don't have to put some more expressions for that one. And the next one is 여기요 and 저기요. This is kind of a little bit complicated one, but it's really easy to use. For example, this is a phrase when you call someone to ask or order something. 여기요 is kind of look over here please style, and 저기요 means hey you over there, please look at me. Yeah, kind of style. So, for example, if you say 여기요 or 저기요 and say 물 좀 더 주세요, that means, excuse me, can you give me some more water or water bottle, please? Yeah, that kind of nuance. Yes. And 여기요 is, like I said before, 여기요 means, hey, I need something, and it's like raising your hand. And 저기요 means, hey, you over there. Yes, you, Clark, you over there. Look at me. Yeah, that kind of style. So when you call someone for help, or to order something, you can use 여기요 or 저기요 in restaurant. Yep. And this one is a little bit hard. Yes, a little bit hard too. 어디예요 and 어디 있어요. These are like when you ask about the place or something, you can use these ones, but you be advised. 어디예요 can be used for places only, but 어디 있어요 can be used for places and things. For example, if you want to find toilets, you can say 화장실 어디예요, or you can say 화장실 어디 있어요, and that means where is the toilet. You can use both 어디예요 and 어디 있어요. But if you want to ask about something, not the place, then you have to say 어디 있어요. So it's like, for example, if you want to find water dispenser, you can say 정수기. 정수기 means water dispenser. 정수기 어디 있어요? And that means where's water dispenser. If you say 정수기 어디예요, that means like you're treating water dispenser like some kind of a places or buildings. So it sounds a little bit awkward. So please remind that 어디예요 can be used for places only, and 어디 있어요 can be used for places and things. So if you want to ask about places, then you can say 어디예요 and 어디 있어요 too. And let's see, the 바꿔주세요. Yes. This is also damn important. I'm not lying. When you ask about changing something, you can say 바꿔주세요. This is very useful when you eat meat like pork belly or ribs, when you eat grilled ones. Of course, you can use it when you have some problems with your products and something. You can say 바꿔주세요 too. But in Korea, almost every meats are cooked with special pan called 불판, and they use coal fire. Coal is 석탄. Yes. And if you look at the first picture, that is a coal fire, and that net-like thing is one of the 불판 in Korea. When you cook your meat, and after a long time, because the fat dripping out from your meat and all those smokes and everything will burn your 불판, and it'll be blackish, right? And you need to change it because you don't want to eat black meat, right? All those burnt things with your meat. So you have to raise your hand, say call the clerk 저기요, or say 여기요, like I said before, and say 불판 바꿔주세요. That means change my pan, please. Yes. And the clerk will change your 불판 with the new one. Yes. And one more thing. Like I said before, fat will keep dropping from your meat, and sometimes that fat will make your fire weak. And you have to change your coal fire too. Yes, you have to change your coal fire. So you raise your hand again and say 불 바꿔주세요. You don't have to say 석탄, because 석탄 means coal. You don't have to say change my coal. You can just say change my fire, which means 불 좀, or you say 불 바꿔주세요. And the clerk will come to you with really long stick, and he or she will shove it into the bowl of coal fire, and the clerk will bring it up and remove it and change with a new bowl of coal fire. And please do understand, it is kind of dangerous, but they are professionals. And all you have to do is sit down nicely and just lean back. Yes, lean back. And the pictures are like I said before, the pictures are the 불판 in Korea. Whatever their shapes are, they always have holes to make the fats drop. Yeah. So in some restaurants, they will give you paper cup. They will give you paper cup. That paper cup is for, the fats. Yeah, I mean fat. Yes. Sorry, my grammars. The paper cup is for the fat, and it will catch the dripping fat out from the fan. So it depends on the shape of the fan. Yeah. And these are just like a word dictionary, but I don't want to make it like a big, thick, stupid dictionary, so I just read it really quickly. So the 고기 is called meat, and 생선 means fish, and noodle has two words in Korea: 면 or 국수. That is called noodle. 밥 means rice. Vegetable, you can say vegetable as 야채 or 채소. They are same meaning. 접시 is dish, and 그릇 is bowl. 물 is water. 맥주 is wait a minute. Miss Kiara doesn't drink, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, let's change it into this. 사이다 in Korean means soda. You know that, clear, sparkly, sweet, basic soda. Yeah. Of course, in Europe and America, cider means, apple taste, like a beverage. What is it? Alcohol. Yeah. But in Korea, 사이다 means soda. Yeah. And 식당 means restaurant, and 숟가락 means spoon, and 젓가락 means chopsticks. Of course, chopsticks plural, but you can just say 젓가락. It's a singular word, but you don't need to make it 젓가락들. You don't have to make it plural. You can just say 젓가락, and they will give you two chopsticks, one. Yeah, don't worry about it. So that's about it. Yes, this is the end. I really wanted to make this video short, but I don't think I accomplished that mission. But anyway, I really hope that this video will help you to, improve your Korean skills maybe and some, knowledge about Korean foods. And I really hope that this video helped you a lot. And yeah, that's about it. I have nothing to say more. I'm really not good at making presentation for someone, so like I said before, just consider this as a fan video. And as always, I always thank you for making so many good videos and so many good streams, broadcast, and I really appreciate it. And I hope you enjoy your everyday lives. And I will wait for your next live videos. Thank you. Dankeschön. God bless you. What? Yeah, thank you. Okay. All right. Yeah, turn up the screen. Okay, now turn on the light, please. Hey, guys. Turn on the light, please. Oh, guys, come on. I have my own videos to edit. Guys, I have to edit my own stream. Guys. Anyone? Please?